Why is it spinning? I am not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that. We'll find out.
Starbase, 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on the Super Heavy. All 6 engines.
You got to see the others re-enter too. Not like that. Not like that.
Earth. But as Dan said, we've got a lot still coming up in our flight sequence.
Yeah.
So coming up at about T plus 18 minutes, 26 seconds, we'll have the first deployment of simulated Starlink satellites planned from Starship. That will be followed at about T plus 30.
That rate is getting a little worse, guys. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not.
Orbit burn for future Starship missions that will go orbital. And then, of course,
the purge
one of the
lasts longer?
tests yet
I'm not
to
sure,
come
dude.
is the new heat shield modifications to
Cut
Starship.
the feed. Go to commercial. Hell no.
With
Starlink.
re-entry into Earth's atmosphere at about the T plus 45 minute mark, which should take about 16, 18 minutes.
It could be a leak,
complete.
Shaw. It's possible.
Now, today's re-entry is going to test that heat shield like we said. Specifically, how Starship will hold up to 100 missing heat shield.
I'm not sure if we've seen that before. I'm not sure if we've seen that before, bro. It is ice. Where it's coming from is my question, Chupon.
To lose the primary heat shield tile over Starship. So very critical test coming up. And then after that, we'll have the final descent where we will again be pushing Starship to its limits.
It looks like it's ironing out the rates, dude.
To gather data, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing on that ship, seeing how the ship handles various flight conditions that we will need it to fly in as we look to one day soon bring ships back to Starbase for catch and reuse.
Look at this shot, man.
Now, while there are payload simulators on Starship for deployment today, as we will see in a few minutes, the primary data and the primary payload for today is the data.
It's slowing down
today,
because it's coasting to apogee,
Starship's
dudes. That's normal.
Test flights, that data is coming to us courtesy of our Starlink network. In fact, it is from Starlink that you are seeing these wonderful views of ship in space right now. So, and I can't wait.
I'll be honest, guys. The rate of vent looks, it looks like it's been different every once in a while. Oh, put up the powered by Starlink. Put that up. Put that up.
Dan and Jesse, it's been an exciting day so far. There's more to come as we get ready for Starship's first ever payload deploy.
Guys, this could be a vent down. It could be a vent down in Purge. It could be a leak. It could be the Fire X systems just going until they're empty. We know that Starship can control its attitude, and it looks like it's ironed out that rate, that roll rate that it had, or the yaw rate. These cameras
will deploy
make it seem like
8
it
Starlink
looks
simulators,
okay.
Similar in size to our next generation.
It looks like
Starlink
it evened
satellites.
out.
The Starlink simulators will be on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship, meaning they will passively re-enter the atmosphere.
Yeah, Gary,
like
it's the engines. They were
With
getting
tests
hot.
like these, we can see how Starship's payload deploy
hey, 20
work
euros.
in flight while ensuring
Thanks,
that
man.
these simulator satellites pose no safety risk to people on Earth or for other satellites in orbit. Now, this also ensures that any parts of these simulator Starlink satellites that do survive re-entry splash down harmlessly in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
And then before we get there, though, we're going to have to open up that payload deploy.
Sean, it looks like they ironed. That's the rates
so
that I'm
we've only
talking
ever
about.
done that
It
one
looks like they
time
ironed it
before.
out, dude.
Pretty sure it was Flight 3. Someone on the internet, please check me. But that was the only time we ever
Dan's
opened
talking
it.
to you,
We've had
chat.
Starlink simulators on the last 2 flights, but we haven't gotten to this moment yet. Where
Yeah,
we're able
and
to
I guess so. I guess
open
I'm
up
not.
the
I guess I'm
payload
barred
door
from
and start
Starbase
deploying
permanently.
this. It's going to be pretty cool. We've got them
bio.
stacked inside of the Starship payload bay, and we'll have potentially a couple of views. You saw one.
Oh, payload bay cam. Oh, that's sick.
Payload bay of Starship.
Dude.
You can see them stacked down in the middle of your view. There's kind of 4 on either side, so they're sandwiched on top of each other.
What the heck, man?
And then we're going to pop
Oh,
the door
that's
open.
terrific.
It's on the right side of your screen.
Yeah,
So we'll see that
the
open
letterbox
up,
dispenser
and then
will
start
open up right
firing
here.
Those Starlink simulators out into
Dude, send it.
space.
Let's go.
We are expecting the payload door to open in a little over a minute from now.
Have you ever had the payload bay doors
then
open? The
once
last
that
time they
payload
tried to
door-
open it, it cracked. The last time they tried to open it, it crack and teched out, Yarg, and it broke. Shut up.
Starlink simulators.
That's a
What a
view
great
right
view.
at the bottom of the stack. So should be able to see them kind of firing out from right there. So really cool. And eventually these are going to carry dozens of the next generation of Starlink satellite into space, and those are going to enable some truly insane
payload bay
things
cam.
in terms of speeds from space.
Holy
And
shnikes!
what we're able to do. Starlink's been really great for Starship, obviously.
Guys, you want to see
getting
something
live video-
super interesting? Look, so all the dust and ice that's stuck in the payload bay is actually swirling around. That indicates that there is some residual pressure inside of that payload bay. Stuff wouldn't be swirling around like this unless that was the case. It would just kind of be going to one side or the other. So there is trace gas inside of that payload bay, which is cool. Watch, when they go to open up the letterbox during deploy, it'll all get sucked out. Fancy Hope, 6 months, and LR Moto with the 42-month reset. Bio at 100 bits, you heck yeah.
You saw a couple of those as we have.
Any stowaways?
essentially
I don't know. Where's the
360
banana?
Degrees. Oop. Open the pod bay door, Hal.
My guy. I knew I loved Dan. Dan's the man. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm afraid I can't do that. So the last time they tried to do this, it bound up and got stuck. It's a Starlink deployment test. Yep. So watch right around here, dudes.
Now we are expecting the payload door to open any moment now. So we're watching out for that.
So there's your header
And
tank
you're
lines
looking
over
at
there.
the
So this is
inside of Starship.
So guys, this is the top of Starship over here, and this side is the side with the tiles. This is the left side of the ship, and that's the right side over there.
Well, we heard the door open was in progress. It was unable to actuate all the way open, so
sure
they
about that?
are going to close it back up. Hal told me no. He said, "I'm sorry, Dan.
I
Can't
told you.
do that. Looks like we won't get the door open today." But that's okay. This is
why we
obviously
test.
a test we want to be able to do before we're deploying
Damn, Daniel.
full-on Starlinks. But the real focus for this, now that we are in space, is getting to that reentry.
Yeah, the last time they went to open up that door, that's exactly what happened. It bound up. It got stuck. Opening stuff up in space is a little weird. Shameless plug for the shuttle payload bay doors, which never had a problem opening and closing in 133 flights, or 134 flights, excuse me.
Deploy Starlinks today, but we should have pretty frequent views from Starship. They might cut in and out.
I may have.
Every once in a while, but should be pretty regular. We are in darkness right now, so might be a
Hello,
lot of black.
darkness,
But
my old
the
friend.
cool part is when we get to
I've
reentry,
come to
it's going to be
copy
daytime.
strike you again.
Yes, and we did that on purpose so that we can get some live
Look
daytime
at all
views
those people
as ship is returning back
waving.
to Earth.
All right, so we are going to take a break. Enjoy these views as we get them.
Well, that's a shame that the door bound up, but it happens. Does this count as a point-to-point cargo test now? Yes. Yes. I want this camera during re-entry. Can somebody, can we call Elon? I forgot to grease the door hinges. Dang it, Bio! Hey, boss man! Good stuff, man. Hell yeah, it's good stuff, dude. It's a lot of dust moving to the right. The reason why it's moving to the right is because they got the door to partially open and it vented the payload bay. As expected, there was some residual pressure inside of it. Yeah. So when they opened up the door, everything moved towards the door because it did leak a little bit. It didn't completely seal, but it also didn't completely open either.